Counterplans are a staple of negative strategy, but they're very easy to misunderstand. There's a lot of unique jargon associated with counterplans that developed over decades of crafting theories about how debate should work. We have made reference from time to time about what a counterplan is. Common ways to think about it are an advocacy on the negative, a proposal that competes and solves the case, advocacy of something that should or should not be done that is not the AF. While all these have some truth to them, this is not the optimal way to think about what counterplans are. To fully appreciate what that is, we have to take a step back and recall what the role of the negative is. The negative needs to disprove the plan. The AF forwards that an actor should take an action. The AF wins if that statement is true. The neg wins if that statement is false, or that action should not be taken. The way that the neg accomplishes this is twofold. First, by presenting defense, which responds to the AF team's reasons the actor should do the action. Second, by presenting offense, which advances reasons why the actor should not do the action. Since the neg win condition looks very similar to our definition of offense, any strategy that can allow the neg to satisfy its win condition has to contain an offensive component. What kind of offense does a counterplan generate? The answer is that a counterplan introduces an opportunity cost. An opportunity cost is a benefit that a person could have received but gave up by taking another course of action. In economics, the concept of opportunity cost helps us describe the effects of a finite economy. Suppose that if someone has 6 units of fabric, they can turn that into 6 t-shirts, or into 4 pairs of pants, but not both. Here, 4 pairs of pants is an opportunity cost to making 6 t-shirts. It's not that making t-shirts destroys any pairs of pants, nor does it mean that we have to pay anyone in pants in order to produce t-shirts. Rather, by saying pants are an opportunity cost of t-shirts, we're saying that making t-shirts, we are giving up the option to make pants instead, because we are using our limited fabric. A logical outgrowth of this concept is that policy debate should evaluate the opportunity cost of any action. So as early as the 1950s, debate scholars began producing the idea of a counterplan, an option that is foregone by doing the plan and which would have been better than the plan itself. To understand counterplans, we need to understand basic competition. How can we tell if the counterplan is an opportunity cost of the plan? The answer is competition. There are 2 ways that a counterplan can compete. 1, you can't do both. The 2 are mutually exclusive. Increasing and decreasing regulations, moving one group of troops to 2 different places, spending the same $1 million on 2 different things. All of these combinations are impossible, meaning that they are an opportunity cost with each other. If the benefits of a mutually exclusive option outweigh the benefits of doing the plan, the negative has satisfied their win condition, proving that the federal government should not do the plan and should instead do the counterplan. 2, you shouldn't do both. The counterplan is net beneficial. This describes cases where you could do both, but it's better to do the counterplan alone and not do the plan. For example, if the federal government could fix a problem, and the 50 states could fix a problem, but involving the federal government causes political fights that the states avoid, including the federal government makes our policy net worse, meaning that the states alone are net better. In all of these examples, the counterplan is not just better than the plan, it's also a reason to reject the plan. It's important to remember that both of these components are necessary for a counterplan to prove the neg should win. A mutually exclusive counterplan that is worse than the plan is not a reason to reject it, since the opportunity being foregone is worse than the advantage being claimed. We will explore the back and forth between the AF and neg regarding counterplan competition in another video. While competition is the most unique and intricate element of a counterplan, to successfully argue one on the negative, a few other elements need to be present. First is a counterplan text. Similar to a plan text, you need to identify an agent and an action that agent should take. The goal most of the time is to solve the advantage of the AF. You can do this by solving the same links and internal links, or by resolving the same terminal impact sufficiently, just in a different way than the AF. Second is solvency. You need to provide evidence for why the action of the counterplan achieves the results you claim it achieves. Third is a net benefit. This is an advantage the counterplan captures that doing the AF would prevent, or a disadvantage the counterplan avoids that the plan does not. Both are reasons why the action of the plan is problematic. If you're affirmative, you want to keep 4 things in mind when formulating answers to counterplans. First is solvency deficits. This is an argument that the counterplan fails at achieving the same level of solvency as the plan. It stems from the difference between the plan and the counterplan, and then the affirmative arguing that that difference is an important element of solving the case. Most of the time, the neg will try to agree with most every part of the plan, except for a small difference. Making sure everything in your plan can be justified is the way to generate solvency deficits against counterplans. Second is permutations, which are tests of competition. It's how the affirmative proves the counterplan is not a real opportunity cost to doing the plan. There's a whole host of theory related to permutations we do not have the time for in this video. The basics are that permutations are a combination of the whole plan and part or the entire counterplan. For that reason, they need to have permutation texts that specify exactly what you are combining with the plan. If doing the permutation is not beneficial, the affirmative has proven the counterplan is not a relevant opportunity cost. Third is theory arguments. These are arguments that say the negative has done something objectionable with the way they've argued their counterplan. They've either made the debate superficial or contrived, or they have made the debate too difficult for the affirmative to win. For example, if the negative could fiat every government in the world disbands their military, thus solving the negative impacts of war, the affirmative would have little room to argue against that counterplan. Mainly due to how unrealistic and utopian that counterplan is, the affirmative would make a theory argument that the judge should not evaluate the counterplan. Theory arguments are how debaters debate about debate. Finally, offense against the counterplan. These are arguments that say the counterplan action is bad. They aren't really an advantage to the plan, just reasons why the counterplan results in uniquely bad outcomes. If the counterplan solves the case but causes a bigger disadvantage than the plan does, that is a reason to vote affirmative. That's all we have on counterplans for now. Tune in next time as we discuss critiques.